Study UGC is a prestigious theological college in India where they train ministers and pastors to serve the people and the church. The department offers master degree and doctoral degree. Dr. Ralte earned Doctor of Ministry from Episcopal Divinity School, Boston, and Doctor of Theology from Bangalore. She hailed from Mizoram and worked at LDC at the DC office for 6 years during 1976 to 81. She was the founding secretary of ISOL YWCA, where they started women hostel for rural women students to get proper education. She held international responsibility as one of the EATWOT Immutable Association of Third World Theologians, in charge of Theological Commission, founder of IWIT, Indian Women in Theology, more or less a publication unit of resources of women in India. Dr. Ralte is a theologian activist who heads the Northeast community in Bangalore and is the president of the Northeast Solidarity, who runs Helpline Phone. And through the Helpline Phone, she and her team help people in crisis. She networks with the government, especially the Home Department, the Bangalore Police, DCP, and IPS ranking are the nodal officer for the Northeast people. She visited police station, train station, jail, and the spot of incident. The Northeast community in Bangalore is estimated as 5 lakh or more. Thank you, ma'am, and I hope ma'am can start with the speech.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity. And in this winter cold season, and Saturday is not an ideal day, but Saturday has become very, very busy day. So also today. So today we are going to discuss about gender issues in social, political, and religious life and economic life as well. I would like to begin with what is women's studies as a department. And particularly since I am located in Bangalore in a theological college, Christian college, and how this department has been emerged and how it has journeyed thus far for celebrating Silver Jubilee 25 years. So I was the one who started the department. I'm so happy. Out of the 10 departments, our department is one of them. So what it meant to be women's studies in theology, particularly, several debate was going on before the department was started. One controversy was that what is the need of women's studies? Because every department should have women perspective, whether it may be in any department, whether it may be in religious studies, communication, counseling, or ethics, theology, biblical studies, anything at this point, you may say that even political science. So perspective is good enough to address, because every department, you should have a perspective of gender perspective, women perspective in particular. So what is the need of having a separate department? So nobody can really give an answer to that, but it is an ongoing. So now, after celebrating Silver Jubilee 25 years, what we can say comfortably is that enough has never been done enough. Because gender studies started with locating ourselves. Where is my location? Where are you heading to? So there are terminology like equality of men and women was very much emphasized at the beginning. Now equality is not a topic of discussion anymore, because men and men are not equal, women women are also not equal, even siblings are not equal. But equality may be based on the constitution, on legal framework, certainly yes. So therefore, equity is more or less our emphasis. So in that, I would like to introduce to you, since I am locating myself in Bangalore in a theological and Christian circle, from there, how we journey thus far and how we are envisioning our future. So let me share a screen with you to begin with that. Okay, now we are beginning with introducing women's studies. Is the first encounter engagement is unmasking patriarchy. So how do we do that? Unlearning patriarchy, unmasking patriarchy. So then we are trying to understand, why do we raise this one? What are the contexts of having a separate department? Where are our goal? What kind of contribution we are aiming for in order to do that? So then we look at the context of India, we locate ourselves in India. We see the situation of elderly women, elderly people, situation of women, situation of children. So when it comes to gender lines, whether they may be a baby girl, or a girl, or a woman, or a mother, a grandmother, there is a lot of pillars that supported that patriarchy, that make female gender inferior, subjugated, vulnerable. What are the pillars of patriarchy? Is it your religion? Is it your family? How you grew up? Or is it your culture? Or is it your social location, social surrounding? Or your religious affiliation, political life, and economic life? So therefore, there are many, many pillars that support patriarchy. So in these women's studies, what we are trying our best is, women's studies is not for the women by the women of the women, but we are linking up. We cannot do alone. If Dalit women is raped, killed, buried, or no, burnt, it is, I am not a Dalit, but I am linking my issue into others. So therefore, there is no individual issue anymore in India. It is all interlinkage. So therefore, you see that the complexity of India, the plurality of India is so huge. Even in one community, you see a lot of divisions among ourselves, especially living in Bangalore, where multi-religious culture, everything is combined together. Even in my own compound itself, there are more than 20 languages spoken. And though we are all Christian, but by denomination, we are also divided like anything. So therefore, when we are trying to understand what is our context, what is our location, particularly women location in Indian society, and we confronted with patriarchy, the patriarchy in various ways. So therefore, since the structure is well built, and who are upholding those culture, so therefore it is not necessarily a gender war between men and women. Women are also upholders of patriarchy. Yeah, women are also a supporter of patriarchy. So also men. So therefore, we are trying to understand and analyze. So we always say that theological education is nothing but trying to analyze and understand what are the areas. So I just want to go to the courses we taught in our department. Uh, there are 11 or 14 courses we taught. This is for graduate as well as master's degree. Doctoral studies, they can select any theme of their interest. One is Introduction to Feminist Theology, how we look at how a theology has been shaped. How we look at the hermeneutics is how the Bible has been read, interpreted for the interest of who is interpreting for whose interest. Then from number 3 to 14 is all about master's degree. We start with feminist theory and methodological explorations, feminist theology in context, feminist biblical hermeneutics, women in religious traditions, Indian women in society, where we have a sub-theme of Dalit tribal Adivasi. Now we may call it sexual minority communities as well. Women in history of Christianity, women in Indian Christianity, women and family, patriarchy, caste and class, women, ecology, economy, poverty and development, Indian women's movement, violence against women, women, gender and sexuality. Those are the different courses. When we design the course, we keep in mind that this is a particular course that is addressing to the context we all lived in. So therefore, the area is so huge and vast, and even to master one's course itself can contribute a lot to the wider society. So therefore, we are working on different areas. Of course, these are only selected few. There are many more areas that has to be covered, acknowledging our limitation. So then, after understanding what it meant to be patriarchy, patriarchal system, patriarchal structure, patriarchal, anything related to patriarchal. So if you look at every corner, either it is Christian or religious institution, cultural institution, political institution, you see the faces of patriarchy very clear. So there, let us come to our next level is terminology are very important. How do you identify terminology in order to develop feminist consciousness? I would say the term feminist itself is highly contested area because Indian men, I would say, educated men, always think that feminist is coined by Western women, middle class women, who may be white women also, whose interest is more or less on gender, sexism. But the definition of feminist is anyone who is committed to the cause of women. So therefore, it is very important terminology. If you call yourself to be feminist, that is a commitment. It is not simply calling yourself that I am a man, I am a woman. No, it has a depth commitment required. So if you call yourself a feminist, that means you are committed to the cause of women, liberation of women. This is inclusive terminology. Men can be feminist and women can be anti-feminist. In India, the problem is many ways. I would say men also told us sometimes we don't buy them also, but it is also true is that women are the upholders of patriarchy. So therefore, many women are not willing to call themselves feminists. They don't see the need as long as they enjoy their life, their daily survival. So therefore, uh, this terminology has to be very thorough about us. And I'm so happy that living in Bangalore, where people's educational level, awareness level is very, very high. I would say one of the most progressive society in Indian cities is Bangalore. So we come across many men who strongly, boldly say that I'm a feminist. Anything related to women's life, I am committed to. Yes, we find them, many of them. The other one is perspective. As I introduced already, perspective is any area you can identify. It may be employment, it may be work, it may be social status, or anything related to the life of the people. That perspective is important. It requires a lot of experience and orientation. You see that you and your brother or you and your sister may not have the same perspective. You may eat the same food, you may grow up in the same family environment, but you may not have the same perspective. So therefore, when it comes to any area of concern, perspective has become very important. Whose perspective you are using? So gender lens is very important. In order to understand or apply gender lens, you see things. One of our scholars say that gender lens is just like wearing a lens. It's like wearing a lens. You're wearing green color lens. You see things in green. It's not that it is green, but the lens you are wearing is green. Behind the lens is you. So therefore, your own experience is very important because you are wearing that lens. So therefore, it requires a lot of exercise and analysis because when we are engaging heavily, particularly since we are in Christian community, and it is easier how God has been translated or how our theology has been shaped. It takes time. For example, many students from Kerala who belongs to Marthoma Church, Orthodox Church, Jacobite Church, Roman Catholic Church are normally high caste community. For them to understand the caste link of the Indian society is very tough. They did not know that. They did not even realize that they are very casteist. But they are showing in their body language, in their decision, in their way of life. You can see that someone is working with caste identity, caste card. So therefore, for them to understand that caste system is can be proved in this way, can be seen in this way, it is visible in this kind of nature. It takes time. So also, if they are men, it is doubly difficult. If we are men, if we belong to the high caste, if we are also somehow economically sound, you know, your perspective is different. So therefore, knowing ourselves is extremely important, who we are, and that is experience. So therefore, uh, we will be looking at the other areas. So the very common expressions are like gender issues, gender discrimination, gender imbalance, or gender balance, gender bias, gender equality, and gender equity. Those are the areas of concern. Okay, let me go to this one. Wheeling gender justice in social, political, and economic life. This is the main topic for today. Wheel is a metaphor of round. You know, a wheel is going, it's going on towards wholeness, towards life affirming activities. So I used to draw a picture, but my helper is not here, so I cannot draw the picture. But I will be looking at it from, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 areas only. Normally I have 8, but let me make it smaller. Okay, our theme is gender justice in social, political, and economic life. So we are wheeling our theme. So I would like to look at it from, one is experience, one is image, one is symbols, metaphors, and then location and language. So these are only few, I will tell you. I will combine between experience and location. Okay, now, what is our experience in doing gender justice in Indian society? You see that National Alliance of Women reported that there are 55 different types of violence against women. I can name 12 very easily. I can name 20 very easily, but I cannot name 55. But if you go to their website, National Alliance of Women, they call it NAVO, they have 55 different kinds of violence against women. Many, okay. Okay, what are few of them? One is to highlight that there is a gender war, call it femicide, gendercide, or in practice, you may call it female infanticide or female feticide. So because of this situation experience, this is our experience. So let us also look at location. So as I said, we'll be looking together. Your location is very important. Your social location, your religious location, your political location, your economic location, your class location, your caste location, your sexuality location, your gender location. So many different locations one can identify. Where are you? Do you know yourself? Yeah. So therefore, experience can be experience of oneself with location. I cannot do everything by myself. We are networking with others. So therefore, experience of the others. When violence against women is happening in one community, I am linking with their issue. Therefore, that is my issue also. So experience of oneself and experience of others. So if you look at the census, sex ratio, there is a huge imbalance. Everybody knows. Maybe in Northeast, little less. Particularly in Mizoram, it may not be there, is female infanticide and female feticide. What are the contexts of this? Is it dowry system is one of the contexts of this? Every man is having a price tag in their body. I tell you, I am located in Bangalore. My students are wearing a price tag in marriage. Women are buying them. Men are on sale. Every wedding, women have to contribute lakhs and lakhs of rupees. When I joined UTC in 1994, we got shocked when people are taking 2 lakhs, 1 lakh, 2 lakhs. Now it is 50 lakhs, some even crores of rupees. So men are on sale. Sound like, but the reality is no. So uh, even in Bangalore, even in Kerala, there are some women who cannot afford to get married because they have no money to pay to the husband's family. And as a Christian community, we are trying our best to abolish dowry system. It is impossible because if they don't take it for their sons, there is no chance for their daughter to get married. So it's like a mutual exchange. The problem is deeply rooted in culture and history. You cannot simply abolish immediately unless you are somewhere else. So therefore, you look at the experience of women of all ages, of all sections of the society. High majority of Indian women's position is very pathetic. If I have seen the last 25 years or so. So those are the experiences of women. We have it. Where do we go from here? So therefore we are all engaged in analysis. What are the images we are giving to the women? What are the images we are attaching to the body of women? Until today, even in my church, Presbyterian church in Bangalore, where I'm also like a local, they call it Tual Upa, my colleagues, my committee members are still believe that, oh, women cannot be ordained in the church because they are menstruating, they are pregnant. Do you know from your family, your mother is pregnant all the time? Your mother is menstruating all the time? Why do you think that women are pregnant all the time? Why are you only looking at negative side of the women? So therefore, negative portrayal of women is still very, very strong. Who are the pillars to support this? Is it your family? Is it your Sunday school? Or is it your culture surrounding your neighborhood? When can we have positive image of women? If you are targeted all the time Actually, women, we say that what we have been doing as a survival level is 200% energy, 100% for our ongoing, but ongoing is not enough for women. We have to have additional energy to put in. Even then, how much of appreciation we receive. I have been witnessing that Mizo women work so hard. Educated people, office people, there may be some loopholes in between. I don't talk about those loopholes, but normally they are very, very strong and they have to work very hard. Yeah. So you look at the culture. For example, since majority of you are from Mizoram or Mizo society, we see many negative sayings about women, many negative metaphors about women in the past. How far those negative images are put into your upbringing. Even the terminology called métier itself, many of us are not even conscious how this métier is having negative connotation. May kara ngal. May is concubine, chia means negative. So therefore, it is attached to the adjective always. So, so those are the image. For example, women and crabs have no religion. Mi chia le tsakai sa kwan ne lo. May che tu ni su tsakai sa ni su. So even their words are not even accepted. So, but lot of contradiction is given. They say that women's words are not wise enough to make a decision. Voice is to make a decision. This so women's wisdom do not cross the other side of the river. That means women's wisdom is so limited. Therefore, you don't need to consult her. When it comes to festival, you are killing pigs. That is rare by women mother alone, but to kill and to make a decision is always made by the male member in the family. So therefore, negative sayings of the past has negative reinforcement in a society today. You see in the developed countries, especially in the context of COVID-19, women leaders are performing very well. So you are only believing that the power depends on the physical strength of a person. But mind you, that women are always the weaker sex of the society. I was once a mother. I was once pregnant. When a mother is carrying a baby in her womb, about how many kilos, depending on with water, lots of water, because the baby has to uh, survive in that water. So some of them may carry 7 kgs extra, 8 kgs extra, 9 kgs extra. We are living and carrying 24 hours, 9 months. If you attach the weight of a stone, maybe brick, even one brick, which may be not even half a kilo, approximately half a kilo, attached to your belly, man, if what kind of stumbling block you could have lived to? Sleeping with them, eating with them, sitting with them. So women have proved that they are physically very, very strong. The only problem is you are making a criteria of strength based on your convenience. The women's strength has never been acknowledged and recognized, and that was very clear when Mizo people celebrated festivals. All the needed items, food items, rice beer, are prepared by women. And that time, they are glorifying one of the most hero. They identify one a hero. The hero will wear a tangso dress that is also woven by women. But women never get recognition. Women can never be good. No, they only have good pa. Why is that? When you look at the Glomgaina ethos and the pathos of the Mizo, only the big cup, the Nopui can be received by a man because they are making qualification convenient to their own achievements. So many things are there. So therefore, it is extremely important for us. Our aim is not to challenge everything, but we are trying to create a better society, a peaceful society, a society with equal and mutual respect, so that everybody will be happy. Okay, what about our human happiness index now? Human development index were very low, we know. But when it comes to happiness index, that is what we can own create. Where are the criteria of happiness index? We have it. So therefore, we have to be very mindful of the language we are using, whether it is inclusive language or empowering language. These days, we had several webinars on identity, Mizo identity in particular. One of the expressions made was our language is biased, not inclusive. So therefore, our language has to be transformed to be inclusive. So therefore, from that point of view, there are many areas we need to look at it. Okay, now, just looking at closely with few areas, one of them is economic aspect of it. So where are we now as India? We celebrated our 74th Indian independence. And even now, you see the poverty is so severe. So severe. Plus, COVID-19 has contributed more. Hunger is real. Very real. Many people are sleeping with one cup of tea. One Mizo lady was eating mango for 2 weeks. One Mizo lady was sleeping with one cup of tea. She could not even sleep. These are the Bangalore experiences. Many Northeast people, many babies, 3 months old baby her mother has no milk anymore because her father is without job, no proper food. So many stories are there. And when you look at the larger context of India, it is extremely important. Now we have to be very political because you cannot be simple anymore. You cannot be a simple person anymore. So from that point of view, especially since this webinar is organized by political science department, let me stress a little bit about political aspect of it so that we can also wind up very soon. Now, the present demand is looking at the budget. Where are the allocations of funds in order to uplift women, in order to uphold children in their schooling, in their education, in order to uphold farmers for growth and everything? One area we need to look at it is budget. What are the budget allocations? Sometimes I myself don't know. Many women also don't know. Many men also don't know. Even politicians don't know. But how the history of budgeting has to be really relook at it. For me, my eye opener is that I went to the social welfare department and asked what are the funds allocated for empowerment of women, elderly women, children. Yeah, there are some funds. The funds are not that much. Okay, funds may be there, but the other area is that implementation, whether this implementation has been made. Now I realize more and more that there are many provisions, not only in the government, but also in the bank, in the rural bank, or there are many provisions for widow, for elderly people, handicapped children, physically challenged children. So many provisions are there. Are we aware of it? Particularly looking at how women also need to enter into the political arena is everything is related to decision making. If you look at the Indian political scenario, you see the women's components is very, very minor, very small. Even among the few MP women who are really speaking up, are only few. With our nation, we don't need a simple person, a simple woman to sit there in political platform just to be silent and only taking pictures. We need women who will perform for the interests of lesser privileged people. So therefore, it boils down to gender budgeting. Unless you emphasize on gender budgeting, unless you fight, what are the allocations made for women? What are the implementation? What are the success story? Is there any corruption in between? If so, the other day also we are discussing with many things. So one comment made was that there are some departments where women are also heading. Women are at the head of the department. Whether by being women heading the department is bringing a better change or not is also a big question. So therefore, we have to have a cross-checking. We have to have a networking. We have to have a good, strong team of implementation. Some people are complaining that when many women are sitting in the office, they are very difficult to talk to them. They are too comfortable and they are eating and then they are laughing and they are loitering, disturbing one table to another. no progress has been made much. So therefore, in all aspects, we all have to encourage one another. Here I will stop because in case there is questions and answers or something to complement. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you, madam. I don't know, am I audible? Irina may continue. Am I audible?
Yes.
Oh, now I am audible.
You are audible.
No, you are not audible again.
Ma'am, I think ma'am, I think there is some technical issues with her end.
Yeah, no, I think she's not audible.
Okay. I would like to request our Vice Chancellor, KRS Sambasiva Rao, sir, to make a comment on the topic. Sir? Ma'am Joby, can you hear me?
Hello.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please.
Yes, thank you for inviting me, Madam Ralte and Madam Jovi, Madam and Irene. It
Yes.
was I've been listening since Madam has begun her lecture, and it was a wonderful lecture. And I congratulate the Women's Studies Center for inviting Madam Ralte for giving this lecture on women justice, socio-economic and political issues. And it was a wonderful talk. I congratulate you, Madam, and thank you very much for blessing this occasion. Thank you, Madam. Hello.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
sir,
Thank you,
my principal is Chilkuri Vasanta Rao.
He's from?
He's from Andhra Pradesh only.
Okay,
Telangana.
okay.
Telangana.
In Telangana, okay. In Bangalore.
Yeah, in Bangalore.
Yes, Madam. It's very nice.
He said that he called me Chilkuri because Vasanta Rao is too popular.
Very good.
Yeah.
Actually, that Rav is a common name. Rav is a common name there
Yeah.
in Andhra and Telangana. But that is a like general name, Rav.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That's why he likes to be called Chilkuri.
Yes,
To
Madam.
identify himself, yes.
Yes, Madam. Yes,
Yeah.
it's very
Thank
nice.
you very much for your coming, sir.
Thank you, Madam. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so I'm now when it comes
Thank you
to
very much, Irene.
thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, so now I would like to go to the question and answer, but then we don't have much question, so I would be posing some questions for discussion regarding the point that you said about the Presbyterian church having issues with women to be ordained. And while at the same time in Mizoram, we see Baptist church having done with it. So, ma'am, can you comment on this?
Presbyterian church, yeah, no ordination so far. Baptist church is also, we may be happy with one person so far, Dr. Nuni, with a high stature, principal of the seminary. Yeah, but there is no continuity is a problem. So you are iconize one person saying that we ordain women. You iconize a leader, Indira Gandhi as a prime minister. Therefore, women are empowered. That is exactly the parallel situation. Namesake, yes, certainly. But what is the holistic development we are looking at it? For example, since we are all Christian, and then ministry is very important. Okay, ministry for whom? Ministry for what? We look at, we own it as social problem, as my problem. Young people are flown into drug addiction. Young people flown into alcoholism, sex, HIV/AIDS, poverty, and school dropout. So many problems are there. You are limiting recognizing other people. For example, the gender gap, you may not see that in Mizoram, gender gap is so huge.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
When it comes to a real life, if I am a woman, I have a problem, domestic problem I have. I cannot go to the pastor, but pastor is a male. Something confidential, you cannot share. If you go once, somehow his wife, pastor's wife may accept you. But if you go for the second time, she will say, what is she doing? What is her problem? Instead of that, if another woman in the church is recognized as counselor, she can be a great help. If another youth leader is recognized as counselor for the youth, see, they can do 10 times more than the pastor, 100 times more than the pastor, because pastors have limitations in accessing to the people's life. So therefore, we are not thinking of multiplying that ministry, the aspect of ministry. Instead, we would like to hang with the pyramid where I will enjoy the power until and unless ordained pastors are taking us justice issue, human right issue. I don't think, because they are enjoying that patriarchy. They enjoy. They don't want to give it to others. Yes.
So regarding this, I mean, we all know patriarchy is omnipresent. It is everywhere in every space. And plus, the implicit meaning of our metaphor in our own culture about our observation on women, it's so gender biased that we all know it. But Mizoram being a Christian state, so the role of women educated in the theology, what are they doing, what are their activism at the moment for upholding the justice gender, so what's your opinion on the activism part?
My estimate may be wrong, slightly wrong, but we may be about 30 plus women theologian, and doctorate degree holder maybe around 4, 5. Yeah. And then many are holding master's degree as well, bachelor degree. So you see that the placement in the church itself is quite small, very small percentage, not even 10. Maybe some people go for missionary. So yeah, but I'm sure that they engage in other aspects of ministry, other aspects of, some people go back to secular line, secular job, and some people are also having their NGO and they are very active. They are also being counselor in various ways, so recognized and not recognized. I don't see anyone simply sitting idle. Yeah, a theologian who are taking a degree, they do recognized and unrecognized ministry. Basically, people building, people's building.
Okay.
So,
What about the support from the other women's group like MHP and all?
no, I don't see any support as such. Maybe Annie can say little more, because individual person's concern is also very important. But I don't see them as an organization supporting us. Yeah, their role is very minimal, because it also a lot to do with awareness.
Yes.
Yeah, awareness. Because, for example, when they are discussing about women ordination, the women themselves are saying that I don't want a women pastor. That is a first expression. Yeah, women don't want another women. So
Okay.
therefore, the image of God as father figure, masculine, is very strong even in all aspects of our life. Therefore, father figure in a home. But mind you, when we discuss about the masculine aspect of God, they are people whose father is violent,
Mm.
cannot take it
Mm.
that God is like a father figure, because their mother is more or less a redeemer. So in that way, we have to be very sensitive to the experiences of others. Mm.
Okay. We have a question from Yasmin, and the question says, "Respected ma'am, I have a question about a tribal woman. She is very weak status. She has and also no one to study or go out. I could not understand what's her question specifically. I think she's asking about the tribal woman and access to education, I guess. Uh, Yasmin, if you're there, if you can, retype your question, that would be much more proper. But her question is related with access to education for a tribal woman, I guess.
Yeah. Uh, you know that if it is Mizoram context, we are all tribal, but what is important is that education system. For
Okay.
example, I belong to the village called Konpui that is on the way to Silchar near Kolasip. It's a big village, more than 1,500 household. Uh, I can see that the trend of education system, whenever I go home, I always visit the government schools. It's almost empty. And then near that there will be rented school of two, three, two, three bedrooms, and make it as a school. They are, they are teaching in English. So English is the only criteria.
Okay.
Yeah. So therefore, in the whole education system, we are sidelining the more vulnerable communities, because we are all tribal. That's why we cannot say that. But minority communities is what we have to keep in mind, whether it is a help or not. But I would like to give you one example just for an information. I don't want to implement it that, but it may be important also. There is a study of 25 years of study between English speaking and regional language speaking of Karnataka and West Bengal.
Mm.
After 25 years, the finding is that English speaking people
Mm.
community progress much higher than regional language in terms of employment, in terms of worldview, in terms of I think, yeah. But I don't know the religious aspect of it. But in terms of economic life, yes, certainly there is a big difference. So that means speaking in English is benefiting much more in terms of employment than regional language. Can we take it as a standpoint for us? If so, why don't we put a pressure to the government to, to take that aspect of life? I know that many teachers protested because they are not well educated. Education is like a dumping ground of employment, political employment, because yeah, government is not really looking at the qualification and skill. But party people can be dumped in that, especially primary school, which is considered to be the most important, especially in European countries and American countries. Even if you are qualified to teach college students, you may not be qualified to teach kindergarten students because it requires a particular skill. So therefore, our interest is the other way around. We don't give importance to the small children. So therefore, from that point of view, you see the process of marginalization, either by a location, geographical location. It may be in a rural area where school is not accessible, or so many other things. So therefore, we really need to evaluate again and again. I feel pity in that primary school I always visited. There are only 4 teachers now, but the salary is very high. Government has no budget for repair, no stationery supply. But the teachers are so kind enough to buy chalk and so many other, blackboard duster and everything they buy by themselves. And they are doing a basic fencing also, because cows may come, pigs may come, and then they are ruining the building itself, not only the campus, but also the ruining. But the teachers say that we are earning so much of money, so therefore we are also willing to pay back to the school where we are teaching. And when the school is half empty, and then next building is full. So therefore, this has been taking on more than 2 decades. I think this is an area we really have to look at it. Let us reclaim our government schools, and then let us progress further. Otherwise, it's the class is going to be bigger and bigger. And then when it comes to employment, interview will be an area of discrimination. If someone doesn't speak English well, and they may not take it also. So everything is linking.
Okay, so another thing that comes to my mind when it comes to education is like, because of CHARS, like Mizoram is said to have one of the highest literacy rate in India. So one reason might be the adult education system, but also the Sunday school is also very prominent here. So these Sunday school, how far do you think that it is also giving gender education, gender, equality or gender equity education to the kids? How far do you think that they are giving such education?
Yeah, thank you for bringing that area, because this is also a big area of concern. In the Sunday school, we are focusing more on the stages. We call it graded, yeah, depending on the age they understood. For example, the story of King David. The way you are teaching to the beginner and the way you are teaching to young adults cannot be the same. So therefore, in that graded Sunday school, we're trying our best. But Sunday school education is gender blind. Yeah, therefore, the original sin that is caused by Eve in that Bible is carrying on until today. Evangelists, the preacher, everybody will say that from that time onwards, women, that negative image, not only from the society, but also from the religious belief, is also taking a very strong hold in that. So this is also very, very important area. Yeah, because if that area has been taken care, actually there is a big scope of equality in all aspects of life. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. And I think, like, okay, one more I have in my mind. I mean, this might be the last thing. So, do you think that if women's positions are improved in church, will have an impact on the improved, condition of women in the society as such in Mizoram? Because church is so, you know uh, dominant here in the whole politics of Mizoram. So if woman comes in the church politics, so you think that the woman empowerment will also happen automatically in the political realm also? Do you think that they are interconnected?
It may have an interconnected, but the church is much more behind than the political realm. Of course, now we can say that there is not even a single MLA, women MLA, and yeah, one-third reservation has not been implemented at all. But the church, it's all interconnected because all the politicians are church people. All the church people are also politicians in that sense. So the two strong pillars are united in discriminating women, and then they don't want to take a risk to uphold. Actually, religious aspect, it is much easier if the church is more open. Things will be much better. But the church is not opening. See, we don't have an ideology like Puritan pollution. Yeah, like the Hindu religion has. But even then, to take them as leadership. So therefore, it boils down to the patriarchy again, how patriarchal structure has been framed in such a way so that nobody can enter.
Okay.
So they still manage in the name of God.
Okay.
Now we can say that gender discrimination is sin against God, because God do not discriminate anyone. And our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ is calling everybody discipleship of equals. In calling, everybody is, yeah, calling is in open. But when the structure is made in such a way, so political structure and social structure, religious structure are all holding the same structure of patriarchy. So therefore, what therefore our analysis in all aspects is very important. Some people sometimes call me like that I'm almost like anti-man. You know, they don't know what is misogyny is all about. Anti-women, how they are anti-women. For us, this is our commitment. Wholeness of life is our commitment. We are not making gender discrimination here. I'm not only for the women, of the women, by the women only. It's a holistic development, holistic peace, integrity is our goal, so that we should improve in happiness index. Where does it come from? Where are the loopholes? Why poor people are poor? Why during COVID, maybe a month ago, one pregnant lady died of delivery near Kolosip. Why is that? She was bleeding. The first baby was born, and then before the second baby was born, she was running out of blood, and then there is no blood bank. They carry her from one hospital to another. That is a reality. So,
Okay. So, ma'am, I would like to speak with Ma'am Joby. Ma'am, can you now speak? Do you still have the technique? We still can't hear.
how about from students? Yeah, can they do expression also without writing?
I didn't get you, Professor.
Yeah. No, are students interested? They can speak up by themselves. I don't
Okay,
know.
okay.
Yeah.
So if anyone, uh, they haven't, is it? I couldn't see anyone as such. So
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
Madam Joby, what should I? Please call me on the WhatsApp. I mean,
I think we can wind up. Yeah.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
So so I would be giving the vote of thanks also, since we cannot communicate with Ma'am Jovi due to the technical error. So I would like to thank our Vice Chancellor, KRS Sambasiva Rao, our Honorary Director, Women Studies Center, Professor Lalan Jovi, and our speaker, Ma'am, Professor Ralte, and the ICT Center, especially Mr. Suras, and our staff at the Women's Studies Center, and our staff at the Department of Public Administration, and all the attendees who are attending this this webinar on a Saturday afternoon. And I would like to say to all the attendees that everyone would be getting a participation certificate, and this will be mailed to all your registered email account. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah. We'll, we'll try to meet next year. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Sometime in June or July. Ani, Ani
In the
can.
COVID-19.
Yeah. Okay, then bye bye. Yeah.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Bye.
Mail to all your registered email account. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.